Hello everyone, and this is day 15 of our 28-day ketogenic weight loss challenge. Today we're going to be talking about the ketogenic diet and metabolic syndrome. So statistically, if you are obese, you are shaving an average of about 20 years off of your lifespan. But it's not really the obesity that kills you. It's all of the other diseases that come with the obesity, like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, dementia. All of these other diseases are kind of packaged under a catch-all name, metabolic syndrome, which the name used to be Syndrome X, if you've ever heard that before. So metabolic syndrome is defined as you having at least 3 of 5 symptoms, namely high blood pressure, obesity, lipid problems like high triglycerides and low HDL, high blood sugar, and cardiovascular disease. Metabolic syndrome will probably soon pass smoking as the leading cause of heart disease worldwide. It's important to remember that obesity is one of the markers of metabolic syndrome, not the cause. There are plenty of thin people with metabolic syndrome. They just have the other markers and not obesity. So here is our best guess of the cascade of events that causes metabolic syndrome and causes it to get worse over time. Number 1, metabolic syndrome starts as your body begins to accumulate fat, which is stored near the liver and the midsection. This makes the liver insulin resistant, which starts a host of metabolic problems. Number 2, liver insulin resistance makes the pancreas secrete more insulin, which drives more fat into the midsection, because remember, insulin is your body's fat storage hormone. Number 3, liver tries to transport the fat as triglycerides, which drives up the bad cholesterol markers. Number 4, the insulin makes the muscle tissue around your blood vessels grow, constricting the blood vessels and driving up blood pressure. Number 5, the combination of high blood pressure, lipid problems, and insulin resistance promotes heart disease, driving up the risk of heart attack or stroke. Number 6, the fat around the liver can scar the liver, causing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and eventually cirrhosis if it continues on long enough. Insulin resistance in women can cause the ovaries to create more testosterone, which results in polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is PCOS, excess body hair, and infertility. Number 8, as insulin resistance grows worse, the pancreas wears out, which causes type 2 diabetes. Insulin is one of the hormones that causes cell division, so high insulin can put you at a higher risk for cancer. And number 10, there's evidence that insulin resistance in the brain causes dementia. So the liver's job is to turn calories from food into glycogen. Glycogen is the storage form of glucose. The liver also turns excess energy into fat, but it has to get the fat out of the liver as soon as possible. If fat gets backed up into the liver, impeding the flow of fat out of the liver can get very sick very, very quickly. Another issue is when the cells throughout the body use the energy to do their various jobs. Another issue is when the cells throughout the body use the energy to do the different metabolic processes that each cell is supposed to do. So when the cells burn fuel, substances called reactive oxygen species, we're going to call them ROSs, are the waste products. ROS causes damage in cells' DNA, proteins, and membranes, and we need help from other parts of the cell called peroxisomes, which are full of antioxidants to neutralize the ROSs. If there is so much ROS that it overwhelms the peroxisome, the cell dies. Enough cells die, and you have metabolic syndrome. So, and that's why that's one of the reasons why a ketogenic diet reduces the amount of these ROSs in your cells, is because the body burns fat cleaner than it does sugar. So if you're a sugar burner, you're producing far more ROS than you would be if you were a fat burner. So it's good for for overall cell health. So there are 4 major types of foods that increase this oxidative stress on the body. Number 1, trans fats. These are fats that your body can't process due to their synthetic nature. They are on their way out, fortunately, but there's currently no nationwide ban on them. They are usually found in processed foods, in wrappers, and on shelves. Hold on, had a phone call come in. Branch chain. So number 2 is branch chain amino acids. These are necessary for a healthy body unless you are consuming too many. These amino acids are found in high concentrations in corn. Therefore, they are high in animals who have been fed a high corn diet, which is most beef and pork and some poultry. So this is why you'll hear us talk about the importance of eating grass-fed beef as opposed to corn-fed beef, because grass-fed beef has lower branched chain amino acids and is lower in omega-6 fatty acids, higher in omega-3s. Number 3, alcohol. Alcohol is okay in small amounts, but in excess, obviously, it puts stress on the liver. And number 4, fructose. And fructose is really the big bad villain of the story. If it's sweet and caloric, it's fructose, and it's in everything. So worldwide consumption of fructose has steadily risen for decades, right along with obesity rates. So getting the sugar, the fructose out of your diet, getting the other carbohydrates out of your diet, and switching to a diet high in saturated fat reduces your risk for metabolic syndrome. And I can tell you that metabolic syndrome was what I had when I first started this, back when I was 400 pounds. And while I still have high blood pressure, it's not near as high as it was when I first started off. And all of my other markers, like the cholesterol markers and the blood glucose levels, have all dropped to comfortable levels, or to normal levels now. So nothing but good thing, and I no longer have metabolic syndrome. So it's certainly possible to reverse metabolic syndrome, just like it's possible to reverse type 2 diabetes and lower your risk for cancer and dementia, all by doing the same thing, which is reducing the amount of insulin that your body has to secrete every day to deal with the carbohydrates that you feed it. Cut the carbohydrates out, and you'll be better off for long-term health. All right, so this was day 15 of the 28-day ketogenic weight loss challenge. If you would like to join us, go over to mysugarfreejourney.com/28day, 28day, and you can join our Facebook group, where you can join with a bunch of other like-minded people who are going through the challenge with us. All right, appreciate it, guys, for watching. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.